Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. This is the instant reaction post-game style. This is the biggest day of the season so far. Shedeur Sanders gets his first action as a Cleveland Brown, and we want to get right to it, and let's talk about this. I will tell you, I think that the concussion thing with Gabriel, I don't know. I mean, he didn't leave the field, and then he finished the half, and then at halftime, he had a concussion, or he was being evaluated for a concussion, and then they made the move to Shedeur. Now, what do I think? I think this was more the way Gabriel played than it was being evaluated for a concussion. I mean, you want to make sure he's safe, but the timing just seemed a little too coincidental. But let's talk this offense sputtering again. I mean, the first series, we have the illegal formation. When you go for it on fourth down and you would have had the first down, that's pathetic. The second possession, 3rd and 7 on the Baltimore 13. They throw a 2-yard pass. Gabriel throws it and they settle for a field goal. 3rd and 18, again on the next possession. Throw a 2-yard pass on a screen. That went nowhere, and you punt. There's no stretching of the field. 1st and goal from the Baltimore 6. After the muff punt, you gained 3, you lost 3, incomplete, kick a field goal. Like, you couldn't even get 6 yards to get it into the end zone. I thought they should have thrown on 2nd down on that when they roll away from Levinston after Robinson went out and Levinson came in. He was having trouble initially. I thought they could have rolled away from him and thrown the ball, but they didn't. It was just, Baltimore knew. It was almost like they knew what we were going to run. And then we get a fresh set of downs on that offsides on that other punt, and we hit Tillman on a nice pass, and then miss wide open. Fannon's wide open, throw a worm burner, and settle for another field goal, that was the story of the first half of the offense. And the bottom line is the offense was going nowhere with Dillon Gabriel. Now, you get to halftime, and what happens? Perfect timing. You make the switch. Gabriel being evaluated for a concussion. But this offense, you had to lead. Like you had to make a move because you didn't want to let this game slip away, which it ultimately did. But you go into the halftime locker room with the lead. And so you're up 16-10. And then, of course, the Ravens defense turned it on in the second half and totally shut us down. So instead of making adjustments to what Baltimore's doing with Dillon Gabriel, you just take Dillon Gabriel out of the picture and go with Shedeur. And so, okay, let's talk about this. Now, here's what I'm going to say first thing and foremost. If he did not get the same kind of preparation that Dillon get, if this is what we've been hearing, this is true, it made all the difference in this game. But I will say this, for what he did not get that Gabriel got, and I still think, were there rookie mistakes? Yes. Did he hold on to the ball too long? Yes, a couple times. Yes. Did he? Through the pick, he overshot the receiver who was open. There's probably a ton of jitters. There's probably a lot going on there. When you're not getting the first team reps and all these other things, and so now you're in there and you can prepare for it all you want, but until you're there, and then you could see it. It took a few drives and he kind of settled down and he got to that 2-minute drive and he looked good and he got him down there and the shot he took to Larvin and that throw was right on the money. I thought he made a couple good decisions there when to run. So it was for the first half of your NFL career, it was kind of what you expect from a rookie. But I will say this, looked much better than Dillon Gabriel. The escapability is there. We can't hold on to the ball like there were a couple times there. But he was under duress. When Baltimore was sending everybody. He escaped a couple times when there's no way Gabriel was getting out of those ones that Shedeur got out of. Shedeur adds the escapability. He adds the running ability. We saw that with his feet. I think the throws are stronger. He's pushing it downfield. So, let's look at some numbers. Dillon Gabriel, 7 of 10 68 yards. Sanders 4 for 16, 47 yards. Judkins ran for 59 yards. Sampson 1 carry, 19 yards. And there you go. So, like, why can't we get Sampson involved? Why can't we get some of these other guys involved? That's another problem with this offense. We're not using all of our playmakers. So, and Judy made a nice play again on that 2-minute drive when Shedeur hit him on a line. I think you can see the progression. I think he got better and he calmed down as his time. The longer he was on the field, he calmed down. I mean, it's natural. What do you expect? I mean, you get thrown in there and you go with it. And so ups and downs, but I'll tell you what, it looked better than what we'd been watching the last 5 weeks for sure. Much more exciting. The defense got a little bit of a bolster. Again, the defense though falters at the end. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. I mean, what are you going to do? Here's Jackson's number. I told you we'd pick Jackson off twice. I told you that Shedeur would get in. I told you Mark Andrews would score a touchdown, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. That's what these good teams can do. They get all of their play and they call the right play. That's what they called the right play. Again, just like last week against the Jets with the screen pass, we got burned again. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about the play calling. We'll get back to the defense in a second. But Tommy Rees's play calls, you heard Charles Davis talking about it throughout the game. Some of it's predictable. Like, I'm still not seeing. Now, I will say, when Gabriel was in there, I still wasn't seeing that much of a difference. But when Shedeur was in there, I mean, the offense just seemed to have a little more electricity behind it. It just did. The crowd was into it. Everything was in it. It was that added dimension that Shedeur brought. And I think the things that he didn't do well are very coachable. And he will come to understand that he can't do that. You're not going to get away with some of the same things you did in college. But I think, like, if I had to grade him on his first half, I'm giving him a B-, a C+. Like, he was, there were good things and there were not so good things. And I think it levels off. But for all of the reps and everything that he didn't get, I thought he did pretty good. If you want to take that in account, and he never got to practice with the first team. He never got, he didn't get half the stuff Gabriel got. I'm gonna give him an A for what he did. I mean, shoot, he gave us a chance to tie it at the end. Took us down the field. So, it is what was it the most outstanding first half for a rookie, quarterback in the history of the NFL? No, but wasn't the worst. And I'm telling you, the offense looked better, and I thought the play calling was just a little more exciting. The other thing is, like, you see the problems too with the offensive line, and that's what I'm saying. Shedeur can help make up for some of those problems on the offensive line. Dylan can't. You saw a linebacker, the play he got hurt, a linebacker ran him down. But with Shedeur, his escapability and his ability to keep plays alive and extend a play, that is critical with this offensive line. And I think we could use his running ability. I think we could call quarterback draws for him and things like that. I know he wasn't necessarily a runner in college, but I think he could run a little bit for us in the pros. Like I said, I'm giving it a performance, a B-, a C+. I thought there were great things in there. I thought there were, some not so great things. But again, first time rookie, and he did not get the type of preparation that Dylan Gabriel got. And now, if he can start next week, with Tommy Rees, he'll have a whole week to spend with Tommy, and they put together a game plan for him. Look out. I think that despite the loss, I think it's reassuring. I think this is exactly what this team needs at this time. We said it on the show last week, and Tommy Rees's play calls will fit him more going into next week. I think you'll see more of what you saw on that 2-minute drive moving forward. Defense and special teams. Defense, great again. You can't say anything else about Myles Garrett. He sets the record, most sacks in 12 sacks in 6 straight seasons, past Lawrence Taylor, and then he added a couple more after that. the pick six. The defense was doing great. But then the second half, you saw it. The offense wasn't on the field long enough. And again, that defense was out there. And you keep giving Lamar Jackson that many tries. I mean, they're gonna get you. They are gonna get you. I'm hoping we get to hear Kevin Stefanski here, but we're waiting. We're waiting on him. But it was good. It had to happen. It had to rip the Band-Aid off. Unfortunately, it comes against a Baltimore Ravens defense that needed to win after Pittsburgh won, and the defense was dominating, all day. So, but I thought the offense showed more signs of life, with Shedeur in there than we have seen with Dillon Gabriel for sure. Now, where we go from here, I think, is what do we do with some of our other playmakers? Can we get some other playmakers involved, like Dylan Sampson? Can we put together a game plan for that is more suited towards Shedeur? I mean, those are the most passes over 20 yards I think we've seen since Flacco. Like we have not seen that element of the offense at all in the last 6 weeks with Gabriel. So that is already a massive bonus, and it'll help the running game. It'll help things all along. I mean, with everything. So you cannot deny that the offense looked better, felt better. It felt better with Shedeur in there, and then I think that'll eventually lead to some more rest for the defense. The special teams again with the punt. Oh, the punt. We could have pinned him down at the 1. And again, we're rolling into, yes, was it close? Yes. Could it have gone either way? But we just went through this. How did we not coach him up after the first time? Again, Ventrone. And we also gave up a couple big returns. Nobody ran one back, at least this week. But we gave up a couple of big returns again. And so it's just frustrating with the special teams sometimes. I mean, I know Edmonds is trying to make a play, and he's getting down there and trying to, just keep that ball out of the end zone, but you got to be smart. And Charles Davis said it. If you can't stop your momentum, you got to run past it and let the next guy do it, or, you got to jump and fly and just tap it or something, but you can't grab it. And you're too close to the end zone. You cannot roll like that. You cannot grab the ball at the 1 and roll. You have got to come in on your butt or something and grab it with your legs and pull it back or something. You've got to have a plan if you're going into that, and you would think they would have figured that out by now. So, all right, what did we learn? What did we learn? We learned that this offense had a little more juice to it when Shedeur came in. Took them a few series, which is understandable. It took them a few series to get going. And but it definitely had a little more juice when he was in there. Here's the other thing that we learned. Defenses will be amped up for him. They are going to give him everything he can handle. So that's the other thing that we're going to, even though we're getting a little juice on our side from Shedeur being in there, the defense on the other side of the ball is getting just as much juice. They are going to be, anybody we play, if he's behind center, they're coming after him. You know that. There is just, because they know what he can do. They know what he can bring. And so it's just one of those things where, they all want to, it's Shedeur. They want to get a piece of him. So it's just going to be something that we have to deal with going forward with Shedeur. So, but I do think, here's the other thing I think if you put you give him some time to, he did not get anything close to the preparation Dillon Gabriel got. And so to put him in there in that situation, I thought he handled it to the best of his ability. Is he completely ready? No, but what rookie is. And so, Dillon Gabriel, I thought the size difference, you could see, and Charles Davis talked about that too. I love Charles Davis as an analyst, by the way. I have a ton of respect for Charles Davis. Especially during the draft, I listen to him, and I love when he does college games. But he talked about it too. Taller quarterback. You saw him able to sit in the pocket a little more. But the problem is our offensive line can't pass block to save their lives. And so, at least with Shedeur, again, the escapability factor is there. We can We can see that, and I'm hoping here to get if we can get. I don't know what's taking Kevin Stefanski so long, but bottom line is this: it was exciting. It felt very much like when Baker Mayfield came in on that Thursday night, and I think that the only problem is we didn't get the win today, but it had that same feeling when Baker came in. Now Baker had a lot more preparation time too to get ready for that game. But if that was the case, and this is why he should have been getting reps with the ones, but you knew it was coming. When Stefanski said on Friday that Shedeur looked good running the 2-minute drill, I knew something was up. I knew it. I called it. I'm gonna cut that tape and I'm gonna put it out there because we called it. We called it on our bold predictions. We knew something was up. We've been talking about this for 3 days, but. Good. You know what? Like I said, I'm gonna give it a B-, C+ grade for Shedeur, his first time out, and we'll call it at that. All right, we will break everything down. We'll have a reaction, everything tomorrow. It's not a victory Monday, but it feels a little bit more like a victory Monday. It won't be a complete meltdown Monday because finally we got to see Shedeur, and I thought he held his own. I thought he did great. All right, we'll be back. We'll be back in the morning to break it all down for you. Thanks for joining us. Go Browns! We'll see you next time.